What's going on, everyone? It's your boy James, and we're going to take some more looks at the Menace, just kind of show you what I've done so far with it and all that jazz, and kind of looking at some of the port openings and exits and all that kind of stuff. Kevin was kind of asking about how everything looks, so I figured I'd make a quick little video on that. Before that, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of a fat nerd at heart, always have been, always will be, kind of a thing. And before I got into the motorized bicycle hobby, what I used to do is actually refurbish Game Boys and stuff like that and kind of flip them and all that jazz. And then I found motorized bicycles, and I've been doing that since. So I've kind of fallen out of this hobby. Just kind of want to say what I've been doing is just selling the whole collection of this stuff. I got some DS's, just a bunch of gaming stuff that I have that I am finally selling, and so far it's actually been going pretty good. Been enjoying collecting the money, because what I've been doing is been getting some new toys with all that. Basically what I really want to do is get into some welding and stuff like that a little bit more. I figure it's a pretty good hobby to really complement the motorized bicycle hobby, and it's just been a lot of fun. So yeah, so like I said, I've been selling a lot of stuff and been able to buy some stuff. So we have a portable bandsaw right here, super awesome, just picked it up today. Should really help me cut basically metal, so then I can start crafting stuff with the welder itself. That right there is a stand that you actually put the bandsaw in, which is going to be super phenomenal. I cannot wait to get this whole thing figured out. Basically that can turn into like a little bit of a chop saw, bring that down and cut any kind of metal that I would like. Also too, you can flip it around so it becomes kind of like a bench saw. I'm not saying the right kind of saw, right? Sorry, it's late at night, long week of work, but basically I'll be able to flip it around, and then I can actually shape metal a little bit better, make some different cuts, get some different things, so we can really start crafting and having some fun. Also, with the money that I made, I also picked up a grinder too. Super nice. I've actually already been grinding away on some different stuff here and there, and yeah, you know, not making a ton of money on the side selling that old stuff, but making enough money to go ahead and pick up some of the Hercules brand stuff at Harbor Freight. So I guess if you're going to buy cheap, you might as well buy the best cheap stuff. That's kind of where I've been going with this Hercules brand. It seems to be working pretty nice. This is super nice. This thing is, I don't know if it's plugged in, make sure, yep. This thing is smooth. That's not even bolted down or anything like that. That's just going. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into it a little bit. What I spent a lot of time on the last couple days is getting the green clutch pads nice and shaped up. My question is for you guys is, there's kind of like the more flat, shiny side, and then you just have your other side over here. How do you guys put those in? Do you guys do it this way, or do you flip them around and have the dark side up? Just out of curiosity, just not 100% sure. One big thing that I've come to realize and learn over the time is when you do put these clutch pads in, you just want them to really just basically float. So as you can see, comes in and out super easy. Also too, I'm going with the pattern that Smoke Performance and those guys recommended doing. So 2, skip 1, 1, skip 1, 2. And I just did that all the way around. Basically you're creating more pressure points when you're pushing down, and it should have a little bit more bite. I was going to go with the Smoke Performance hardened pads, but at the time they were out of stock, and man, guys, these are just super cheap. It was cheaper to buy a 2-pack than it was a 1-pack at the time, so I got extra clutch pads. Super awesome, super excited about that. But yeah, what I did to achieve getting those pads in there is I just took a file for more of the aggressive cuts, and I just would just shape it, place it in there, shape it again, place it in there, shape it in there, place it again until they just fell right in, without losing too much material, so that way they are filling up everything so I can have more surface area and all that jazz. If you can kind of see also too, like right there, they're not like exactly flat necessarily. There's like a little tiny bit of a bubble, and so I took just this kind of oval file to achieve that shape. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of why we're in here. Got this other light over here to kind of help us see a little bit. Make sure I got everything I need. All right. So just kind of looking at the exhaust port itself. Hopefully you guys can see in there pretty well with that light. You guys keep it up. So where are we at right now? I think we're so right about there. We're at top dead center. You can see that I'm moving the gear back slightly, but the piston is not moving. So the piston was to travel down after firing. Just going to show you where we're sitting at. So with us being at, it's a little bit easier to see bottom dead center on this side, but you guys get the gist right there. So that piston completely, so right about there is bottom dead center-ish, and we completely clear the exhaust port. That's going to be pretty important. I kind of learned that from Kevin. Basically, if that thing is all the way down, you're going to be losing, or excuse me, extracting a lot of your exhaust and most of your exhaust, making the engine a little bit more efficient in itself. So super awesome, pretty happy about that. It's just this motor just has really good porting overall, looking at everything. So if we're at bottom dead center on that side, that might be kind of hard to see. Hopefully you guys can't even see that looking down. Probably have to leave it like that. So we're at like roughly, we got a little bit of the plug in there because I was screwing with it. But anyway, so where are we at? So there's roughly bottom dead center. If we're gonna go ahead and come back up the other way. When we are at, oops, sorry, we're getting compression. So we're roughly, I'd say right about there, top dead center, and we have a very nice open port. This thing is excellently designed. I am very much looking forward to ripping this thing. So now that we have the clutch pads and everything like that all inserted and stuff like that, we'll put everything back together. And we should be able to rock and roll on the Menace 85 mounted up on the bike. I think the Gemini wheel that I ordered is coming in tomorrow. So we're really cooking, guys. A lot of stuff's coming in, and we're just going to have a good time with it. Also, to the guys at Smoke Performance, recommended scruffing up the clutch plate a little bit just to get a little bit more bite. What I did is I had this super gnarly file, and I just kind of went around and I didn't do it on this side just so you guys can kind of see a little bit how it looks without it. And then this side, it's definitely got some rips and tears in there, so that way we get a little bit more bite as well. I don't know. They recommend taking and putting on some concrete and stuff like that, but I figured this would probably do a little bit more overall without doing too much shaping or anything like that, because you don't want to file it. You don't want it smooth. You want to get more bite on there. I don't know. We'll see if that works. Not that we're going to have any issues or anything, I don't think, but I think with the better clutch pads in there and everything else, it should be pretty much good to go. Got the motor mount. Can't wait, guys. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me on this super short video. And man, we're going to get this sucker mounted up and we're going to get ripping on it here soon.